And joining us right now is former George W. Bush senior advisor, Fox News contributor Karl Rove. Karl, it's good to see you this morning. Thank you so much for being here to walk this through with us. The president has gone a tweeting spree this morning about the border wall funding and the shutdown. Here's his 9th tweet in about an hour. He says this: Mitch, use the nuclear option and get it done. Our country is counting on you. Karl Rove, what are your thoughts on this partial shutdown and the fact that they don't want him to have any victories? They don't want him to have another campaign promise, delivered. So this is going to be the beginning of the next 2 years.
Yeah. Look, let's stipulate there's a lot of hypocrisy into this. Chuck Schumer was one of 80 members of the U.S. Senate in 2005 to vote for the Secure Fence Act, which authorized the construction of 700 miles of fence and border wall. We built roughly 650 miles of that, but he supported it. And he could have easily said, we'll give the president some billions of dollars in order to complete the commitment that Chuck Schumer, made in 2005 to build 700 miles of wall. But having said that, this is a total mess from start to finish. The president has a televised private meeting with Schumer and Pelosi to try and arrive at an agreement. And in that says, I'm happy to take the responsibility to shut down the government, and I won't blame you. Then we go forward, and the Senate starts talking about passing a bill without his border wall. He is silent until they pass it, and it's only after they pass it that he begins to say, "Okay, I'm not going to sign that temporary spending measure." So we get right up here to the end, and I agree with your correspondent at the White House, Berman. I don't see the way forward. What's the strategy to get to a victory here? So
right.
We're likely to see a quarter of the government shut down just before Christmas, and let's be clear, the president is going to get blamed for it. A poll earlier this week, the Suffolk poll for USA Today, 43% will blame the president and Republicans, 24% will blame the Democrats, and 30% will equally blame everybody. The president needs to have a strategy and a way to get to a victory, and starting by televising his private meeting with Pelosi and Schumer, in my opinion, was a grave mistake. Once you commit people so publicly like that, it's hard for them to back away.
Yeah, they're gonna dig in now, but they're going to dig in on everything. So is there a strategy to push back on the pushback he's about to get in the next 2 years? That's what I'm saying. Does nothing get done? Is it all bluster and fighting?
Well, there can be things that get done. I mean, take a look at the first step criminal justice reform bill that just got passed by big margins.
Okay.
Is there a way that people could find a way forward? Yeah, but you need to have, the president needs to have a plan and a strategy, and he needs to be careful about putting this all on TV. In Washington, sometimes you don't want to see the sausage making. Let it happen behind closed doors.
Well, Karl, what's frustrating to the American people at Stake and McDowell is everything is, what does this mean for the next election? What does this mean for my polls? Rather than doing the right thing and actually standing by a promise. And I step back, and I've been very critical about the president, him bragging about the stock market, and you own it on the way up, you own it on the way down, the impulsivity, the erratic actions. However, everything that he has said to his voters, getting out of Syria, building the wall, you name it, taking on China, the trade fight, he's delivered on it. And then the media and so many people with microphones attached to them act shocked that he's doing this. When are we all going to learn we shouldn't be shocked when he does something that he promised people that he would do?
Well, that's right. But what you say in the campaign needs to be explained if you're going to do it as president. You mentioned, for example, Syria. This is a big, important decision. By withdrawing from Syria, there's a reason why Vladimir Putin praised it.
Yeah.
The Ayatollahs in Tehran didn't praise it, but this is a huge win for them. Basically, the United States is pulling out of Syria, which is a client state of Iran. Our allies in the Middle East are deeply concerned about this. So this requires the president patiently explaining what his policy is to our allies, explaining it to the country, instead of just springing it on us without any explanation.
I agree with you on that. I just want to point out, I agree with you on that. But if you look at it through a different lens, he talked about it And
it's another campaign promise that he's delivering.
Right. And in terms of the allies, this also the thread between Syria and the trade fight is, well, the steel and aluminum tariffs, for example, they were slapped on our allies unexpectedly and without much notice.
Yeah, which is why the Journal is out with an editorial this morning, Carl, and it's a scathing op-ed. It's titled "The Trump Volatility Risks." The editorial board criticizes the president over his choice of words against the Fed and the recent troop withdrawals, writing this: his erratic actions this week are different. Heading into 2019 and divided government, Mr. Trump is acting less like a confident disturber of the status quo and more like a raging bull.
Yeah, look. Let's take Afghanistan as an example of this. The president apparently is going to withdraw half of the U.S. troops there in a very short period of time. The Taliban, let's not forget, was a barbaric regime that gave sanctuary to Osama bin Laden and al-Qaeda, and after 9/11 refused to turn Osama bin Laden over. This is a regime that refuses to educate women and engages in the most barbaric practices. And now, what's the message? Just wait out the U.S. and you can regain power. So we got to be very careful about this. And the president, when he makes these decisions, needs to explain them to the American people in a way that the American people can rally around him.
Yeah. All right, Carl. Great to see you this morning. Thanks for weighing in. We appreciate it. Karl Rove there.